Dear friends, this is part one to turn $2 planner from Lowe's into a high-end cement finish, no, high-end faux cement finish with salt wash and I don't know what yet. So it's gonna be a planner with plant pot with a faux cement finish, like I just said, but with a lot of patina, like teals. I don't know if I'm gonna use a glaze yet, but right now I know that the base of this guy is gonna be chocolate brown. We call it chocolate in the Wise Owl land. There we go, and it's like pretty much brown. I don't know anyone else that would use this color right now, chocolate, but it is my favorite color right now because I'm turning a cheap planter pot and I'm using it as its base coat. And so I found an inspiration picture and I'll post it if I ever find it again, but I have an inspiration piece that I'm copying off or trying to mimic. It was like the tall planters, you know, that you put in your front yard or backyard, like $700. It's not happening. So I decided to create my own version. So I'm just gonna put it right into this container since I had some, and I want this to be like really lumpy. I usually don't tend to use a lot of salt wash to create texture because I'll kind of like in the middle. They do advise making it like a icing consistency. I'm gonna go even thicker than that. I want it to be cementy, or like porous looking. So this is my first time doing this and y'all are gonna do it with me. I'm gonna pour in some salt wash, and then if I wanna take away some texture, I can add more paint. If I wanna add more texture, I can add more salt wash. But you see it's like really thick right now, and I probably want it thicker. I would say that's a little bit more than icing, but again, I want it to be like really clumpy. So, fun fact about me, it's hard for me to see color. You think me being in this industry, in the furniture paint industry, I could see color better, right? It takes me a while to pick up on what layers of colors are used. So I usually go through trial and error, and then if I'm wrong, I go with the flow and just build from that. Some people just have the knack. They know what colors. I have a friend out there that helps me out whenever I'm in a bind. And she knows who I'm talking about. Actually, I'll give a shout out. It's Tom and Chickpea out in New Hampshire. She is my eyes for color, and she's pretty good at it. Or really good at it. Not pretty good at it. That's a lot, right? Okay. I'm going to try that and see how it works. I advise using a chip brush. Just going to throw it away. I don't plan to wash. I do sell salt wash kits on the internet, and it comes with everything. 10 ounce salt wash can, chip brush, and then it comes with some books, or I actually just sell salt wash without that. There's different options. Yeah. See that? You just stipple it everywhere. All right, guys, let's go to town. And the thicker, the better, okay? Again, this is, I usually don't, I want it to be really thick, so, or peaky. So, I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Looks like chocolate mousse, right? It's making me hungry, y'all. This is not a good thing. See that? Okay. I'm gonna have a problem when I come around to the other side where I have to hold it. I'm gonna get into my messy land. Like, I want it to be really peaky. Like that. So, I'm still trying to figure out how to create holes. You know how cement has, like, the porous cement has holes in it? So, we'll call it a faux stone. That's it. Stone. Well, technically stone can be. Cement can be stone, right? If it's done right. I drew a blank for a second. So this is what I do. My kids will call this something else if they were awake. We won't use those kind of words. But I have 3 girls. And they're not typical girls. They act like boys, in my opinion. But, you know, they clean dirt and they talk like boys. And they fight like boys. Like, I'm talking about full-on rough and tumbles. They actually wrestle each other, believe it or not. My 8-year-old obviously wins, but it's very surprising how the other 2 can hold their weight, considering how much smaller they are than her. She's a tough cookie. And I think one of them's coming down. It's bedtime over here. I've been going to bed later and later every day ever since we've had the COVID. I was luckily to getting them into bed around about 7 for the first month, and it's crept up to 8, and now it's going on to 9. So y'all can only see what's gonna happen in the summer. 10. And that'll be my night done. I tried doing a live earlier with them, and I had my middle one doing all sorts of silly stuff in the private group. I don't know if the lighting you can see. There we go. You see all those peaks? I usually don't have it like this, but you know what? It's gonna be really cool once I add some, like, I want it to have higher peaks in some areas. So it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna cover everything. This is just an experiment for me. I've got a planner that I bought, outside a plastic planner that I bought for next to nothing compared to what is out there. And I really want to do this effect with it. And then in order to not make it look so fake, I guess, or painted, I could go for like a ceramic look if I wanted to put like a high gloss finish on it. That's always an option. Or we just leave it matte. We can seal it with a matte sheen to make it look natural. It all depends on what finish. And I sometimes I plan ahead of what I want. I'm very, especially if I know what I want, but sometimes it doesn't always pan out. That's probably the beauty about this. What I do is just gotta learn to go with the groove, and there's no right or wrong about this, okay? The only right or wrong you can do is not adding enough peaks, at least on this piece. I've been into texture a lot lately, and I think it was inspired by those old wool finishes. So I'm just pouncing on it. We call it stippling in Paintland, and it already looks better. Well, not that. That already looks better than that cheapo planner. It looked like that bluish green. Oh, by the way, why I have all these is because I have, and she's gonna love the fact I'm giving her a shout out. I have a friend that got me into painting, and I have all these pots from transplanting or repotting. And then pots have become my new furniture, and it's becoming an expensive, the plants are not, but the pots are becoming an expensive hobby. Or shopping. I got so much more. My goal is to make my large planter look like it's super expensive. I can't pay $700 for a planter that's outside. So let's see if I can make it look super expensive. This little guy first. And I'll probably use this on my back porch. We refinished our back porch. We had tiles put down, and then I've we did our outdoor living out there, added some greenery, and I had the girls like plant some marigolds in some pots that I bought, and then they've been helping me plant some bushes. I don't know the names of the plants I buy. I just kind of like let my my plant friend help me out. She's the one that will tell me what to get, because I'm still learning names. I know what pothos are though. I may not be saying it right, but I know what it is, because I have 3 of them, and they're everywhere. And they're the marble kind. I had to research what kind I had to make sure that they liked where they were sitting. Those critters have little, what you call it, feelings, right? They're fussy too. Not the pothos per se, but the Rex and the begonias, they're really fussy. I have to make them happy. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit on the inside. Ooh, told y'all it's gonna get really messy here. I'm not. Can I get on the inside without making a mess? Let's see. This is nothing new. I'm always a messy person. I probably get more paint on myself than the piece. But you know what I found out about planting or buying plants? It's very soothing. Maybe I've just taken the time to take interest in it because of the lockdowns that we've been having. I haven't been leaving the house much because of the situation. I don't take the kids anywhere, or I haven't been, and the plants actually occupy some of my time. Okay, let me show you. I figure you might as well do the inside because you can see it from the top, right? All right, this guy's got super peaks. And I don't know how long it's going to take to dry just because it's so thick. But this is part 1. I hope to plant, talking too much, tongue twisters. I hope to get back on with part 2 probably tomorrow. I have so much left. Like, where am I going to put it, y'all? I guess create more peaks. But part 2 tomorrow sometime. These are recorded, so when you see them, they'll be all together, okay? Thanks for joining, and I'll keep dabbing on and trying to use what I have before I give up and waste it. Thanks for joining. Thanks.